Recording, there we go. Okay, I will do countdown and then I introduce you. So 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome to Leadership Conversations. Today we have with us Professor Rao. He's with us from India and he will talk to us today about overcoming adversity. And before I jump into the topic, I can also say that he's a global contributor of the Entrepreneur magazine. So it's a true pleasure to have Professor Rao with us. Rao, how are you today?
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be interviewed. Why? Because especially after I have come out of a brain stroke around 2 years ago.
That's fantastic. And Professor Rao, when we connected online, I got inspired by your story. But before we jump into that, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit to the listeners. A brief introduction, please.
Yeah, my name is Professor M.S. Rao. I have authored 52 books, including the award-winning book titled See the Light in You, for which his always dilemma is in a foreword. And I have 42 years of diversified experience, including Indian Air Force, business, teaching, training, and learning and development and philosophy. And I was born in a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. I was blessed to be alive after the brain stroke of the 2021. I survived because of my positive psychology, because the power of subconscious mind, and because the healthy habits that I acquired from Indian Air Force. And I'm dyslexic with the ADHD, OCD, and I'm a late bloomer. And add to that, the brain stroke has worsened my health 2 years back. But I'm trying to recovering. And Sometimes I'm stammering after the brain stroke, but thank you for giving me this opportunity. Precisely, I rose like a phoenix after the brain stroke. And let me add one more thing, that I was a college dropout. I acquired education through private education because at the age of 18, I joined Indian Air Force. And I was born in a toxic family, but I acquired all the qualifications through distance education, private education, and I was not blessed with regular education, and I was not blessed with any reputed universities, but I acquired educations through distance education and private education, and I acquired 7 qualifications, including DME, BSc, MA, MBA, PGDCLL, PGDBM, and my PhD in soft skills in the 2011.
Okay, that sounds fantastic, and congratulations on being an author of so many books. I think we have not had anyone on the show who has authored so many books. It's really impressive, and I know that you were also on the podcast of Ross Swan, who is a colleague of mine. You joined him on his co-founded Soul Inspired Leadership podcast. So it's great to have you with us today again. And Rao, I want to spend some moment now to really dig into what you do, because it is inspiring indeed. 53 books, oh wow. So maybe for the listeners then, what we can unpack today is, what should we do in order to overcome adversity? You highlighted that you were born in a toxic family, you have ADHD, you had many other issues, and also I understand COVID hit you very hard as well. So what is the secret here today? Can you share a little bit with the listeners?
Okay, before that, let me also thank Rose Swan, because he interviewed me, one thing. And second thing was that he has written recommendation on LinkedIn. He's a very kind, and I'm grateful to him. Now, coming to the point, the challenges, are you asking about the challenges? What's your
Yes.
question? Could you
Yes.
repeat the
So
question?
yeah, so the question, Rao, is you have had so much challenges in your life, and then you somehow you found the secret to turn these adversity around into an opportunity. So what is the secret you can share with us today? Because there's so many people going through difficult times, and maybe they are beaten down, but you seems to just go stronger and stronger for every challenge you have faced.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your question, and thank you for asking the wonderful question. See, during the second lockdown in India 2 years ago, my wife and I had COVID, and we took medicines for 10 days. And when I was about to recover, unfortunately, I had a brain stroke and I collapsed. My right most of the body was totally paralyzed, and I didn't know what I should do because I didn't know what it was. I just collapsed. Then we had cylinders problem in India at that time, and lockdown started, and ambulances were shifted 3 times because ambulances were also full and they were not available at that time. So very critical situation, and I would have been dead at that time, but I survived because of my positive psychology. And I was on the bed in ICU. Then and around 2 to 3 weeks, I was in the bed. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was able to pull off because of the power of subconscious mind. One. Secondly, I am an Indian Air Force veteran, so I have healthy habits too. And third thing, I wake up morning 4 o'clock, night 10 o'clock, I sleep. So I have some clean habits, and above all, I am resilient by nature and I'm optimistic. Because of these all challenges, I rose like a phoenix. And then what happened? I did some physiotherapy exercises, and I was stammering. There was a blood clotting on my brain, so for now 2 years, still also I am not able to type and write with my right hand. So I am slowly typing with my left hand, but I am able to communicate. Actually, I am a creative writer, but I am not able to type and write because of my right hand was paralyzed and it's numb. There is no sense to my right hand even today. It looks quite like this. So say it was very challenging, and now also it's very challenging, but I bounced back, and gradually I recovered. So why it happened and why all those things happened, I don't know. But I was lucky to be alive after brainstorm. This is what I can say.
Okay, and I think the most important thing is here, let's help the listeners now. If they're going through some challenging times now in their lives, and for maybe for health or for other reasons that is happening, what are the tips for them? How should they overcome all these challenges, Rao?
You have to be very positive. Everything happens for a reason. I would have been dead, but I survived. So I am very positive. People thought that I won't survive and I would die, but I survived. Okay, so we have to be very positive, and everything happens for a reason. So these are the things, and I'm very positive, as I said. So because of this positive attitude, clean habits and healthy habits, and because of my positive attitude, so I started recovering. So these are all the tips I can share with everyone. Is that everything is possible in this world, and the challenges help you discover yourself and reinvent, and relearn. So you have to take it in a very positive light, so that God has given a life to us, and we must know uh, how to make use of our life. And above, let me share with you, with everyone, is that life is fragile, especially after COVID. Things have changed globally. So how life is very short. This is one more thing. So be mindful, be ethical, and add value as much as possible to make a difference in the lives of others. Enjoy every moment of life. Usually, what happens? People think about their unpleasant past that won't come back. So people think too much about the future. It doesn't make any sense. So what you should do is that enjoy every moment of your life, add value, and keep moving in the right direction. So when you do so, so you enjoy your moment, and you add value and make a difference in in the lives of others.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and I really like what you say about the positive mindset and the discipline and having a healthy and clean living. That makes a big difference in my life as well, Rao. I had some difficult times in my life when I turned to alcohol to medicate myself, and I went down in a downward spiral, and then I managed to break free 5 years ago. So I also have my challenges, and everyone have that, right, Rao? So it is about keep going. And I wanted to also ask you, so many authored books, many people have on the, on their list that they want to write one book. You have written so many. Can you give us some tips? How could someone get started even to write one book?
So writing books is basically a passion. And let me share with you, when I was in childhood, there was no paper. There was no paper, so I was writing on my body in childhood. So I was thinking it was a disease, but later on I came to know, I discovered that I had passion for writing. Although there was no paper, I was writing on my body right from my childhood. But what happened? I joined Indian Air Force. Then I had a different kind of life. Then after serving in Air Force and after doing business for around 13, 14 years, then again restarted my journey and started writing books. That's how I started writing books. And after in the year 2010, I started writing books because in 2007, I joined as a faculty member. At that time, I applied for a PhD. Then 2011, I got my PhD in soft skills. So by 2010, I started writing books. And as I told you, in the childhood itself, I had a passion for writing. So I discovered it, which was untapped for many years. Then I started having my own journey, and I was teaching. When I was teaching, when we teach, we learn many things from students because uh, when we teach, we learn things from students, and they ask questions, and then again we have discussion. Then it enriches. So it's like, acquiring knowledge and sharing knowledge. So that's how I started doing. Then I started writing books. So my book was rejected by more than 100 publishers. And I am persistent by nature, and I am passionate, and I am patient. So after rejection of more than 100 books, one book was accepted. Then my book was published. Then there was no looking back for me. I started writing books slowly because anyhow I was in the a faculty member. So I wake up morning 4 o'clock, night 10 o'clock I sleep. So what I started doing, I started utilizing my time to write books, and I kept on writing books. One success led to another success. So I kept writing books. So far, 52 books have been published. So out of 52 books, there are so many books for which people have written forewords. For one book titled See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword. This is very close to my heart. So this is on mindfulness. This is the journey with His Holiness Dalai Lama, that is Nobel laureate, with book and various other books. That's how my life has started. So what I would like to share is that you have to very much passionate in what you are doing. Okay, passion is the key thing, and you should be patient because you can't succeed every time. Sometimes you get rejected. It's part of life. You should learn from failures and keep learning and keep moving forward. And above all, be persistent. As these are the things I would like to share with everyone, whether I am an author or anyone. You should be very passionate of what you are doing, whether you're an entrepreneur, businessman, whatever it is. This is how everything starts with passion.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, that's some great advice there indeed. Not only discipline, positive mindset, but passion and finding the passion. I completely agree with you, Rao. Well, it's been great having you on the show today, Rao. Do you have any final remarks, any final words that you want to say to the listeners before I let you go?
Yeah, I wanted to say many things, but the time is very limited. I am living on a borrowed time because I don't know what happens next. Because in the current situation, my health is also not permitting. I'm very positive. So the message, each book is different. The book I would like to share with the book titled "See the Light in You," for which the Nobel laureate has written is "Health First, education second, and wealth third. This is the message I would like to say is that. And usually what I would like to share with the world is that eliminate ego, empathize with others, express gratitude, and be positive. Everything is possible in this world. Never, never give up. Thank you.
That's great, Professor Rao. What a great positive remark from you. It's been amazing to have you on the show, and I wish you all the best. And maybe one day you've written 100 books if you follow the old pattern.
God wills, God wills. So hopefully I'll write.
Yes, yes.
If alive, I will write more books. I'm grateful to you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And that too, that you are very busy, but still you took time out from your busy schedule to interview me. I'm grateful to you with gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Rao, and thanks to all the listeners for having been with us as well. Have a great rest of the day.